VidShirock's headquarters here in Austin, Texas. Welcome to Austin.
Thank you.
Have you had a chance to check out South by? You know, it's pretty early on. But
Well, we've been here before. We haven't gone around this year yet. We just drove in.
you just drove in?
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Okay. So, speaking of South by, are there any bands? Have you had a chance to look at the schedule? Anyone you're excited about checking out?
You guys have checked out some of the schedule?
A little bit.
I'd like to see Fits and the Tantrums.
Oh, yeah.
In town. I don't know if anyone else
I'd like to
here.
see the Joy Formidable. I think they're here. They're going to do a few shows, so maybe we'll get to be at one of those. Yeah.
Cool. Well, speaking of other artists, I wanted to kind of see who you're listening to right now, and maybe if you could kind of explain your sound and the influences in your music.
Well, we kind of draw from a lot of inspiration. We have a lot of favorite artists, and I think we kind of pull pieces from all of these different artists as sources of inspiration. I think there's moments in a lot of artists that we listen to that they capture in their music. Artists like Peter Gabriel, Brian Eno, the Cranberries, Depeche Mode, Radiohead. A lot of these bands, there's certain elements about what they do that sort of, that I think we chase after in some of our music. You know, some of the feelings that you get listening to a Peter Gabriel song, you know, we strive for some of that in our music. But we listen to so much stuff in the band. I think we all kind of have different things we like to listen to. I really have been into lately, Peter Gabriel is one of my favorite artists. Radiohead's another favorite. New Order. I've been listening to a lot of New Order lately. Depeche Mode's one of my favorites. I love Bruce Springsteen. And what else? The Cranberries. They've got some songs we really love.
So what was jamming in the van on the way over?
Who was driving?
I had my playlist on in the van.
Kevin
What were you
James
listening to?
driving.
Oh man.
There are some killers. You always
Yeah,
like
I had some killers in the mix. I've been listening to Kanye's new album. That's really good.
Yeah, that's where a lot of
I'm
it.
sure you heard about his recent announcement about playing South by Saturday night. So
Yeah, where is
that'll be
that?
exciting. It's going to be down at the Seahome Power Plant, which is
Okay.
downtown over here.
Yeah, so we'll have to try to make it to that.
So if I can, I wanted to ask about the album, Everything Burns, and just kind of what that process was like, and you know what you guys took away from the recording process.
Well, it was actually, even though it's our first official record, it's the first one that we've really put a lot behind and really done correctly. We've done a few albums in the past and a few EPs actually. This process I think was different because I think this was the first time, it was different in a lot of respects, but this was the first time that we really captured what we wanted. You know, the sound that we were chasing I think was captured in the studio correctly, and we're very much a live band, so it was important for us to get in the studio and play this music live. So we tracked everything pretty much live. We had a few overdubs that we did, but the majority of the foundation for the tracks, the drums, the bass, perhaps keyboards, a lot of the guitars, those were all tracked in one room with the band playing together how we would at a show. And then, I mean, it was great. We got to set up our whole sort of thing in a studio in Nashville called Ocean Way. It's a real famous old studio. There's been a lot of amazing albums that have come out of that place. So it's kind of it's an old church, super old church right down on what's called Music Row in Nashville. And we were able to set up in there for about 3 weeks and just kind of have the space to ourselves. Just go in there and just play the songs, just play the music, create, kind of chase the sounds that we were hearing in our head, and you know, creatively bounce ideas off of one another and just sort of go for it. So we did all that in Nashville, and then we did the mixing and some of the, well, I guess probably about 60% of the vocals at our producer's studio in Los Angeles.
How long was that complete process from start to finish?
Well, it took a while because first we released an EP from that session, and we toured on that for a while, and then we released the full album. And at that point, it had been about, I think, maybe 8 months or so since the EP. So we went back, and of course, as an artist, after you listen to what you've done for a while, you know, you're always critical of it.
Yeah.
So we went back, and then we remixed, to our producer's dismay, remixed the entire album for like 2 weeks. So it took a while to kind of put the whole thing together. And also in the midst of it, we were touring a lot. We were playing a lot of shows and stuff. So it took a while to do the whole thing. And then just now, beginning of 2011, we released what's called the Everything Burns Deluxe album. And with that, we released the regular Everything Burns album, plus 8 additional tracks, some remixes, 3 unreleased songs, acoustic versions, music video, kind of a bigger package.
So
The Everything Burns album.
have you guys had a chance to catch your breath, or what are you working on now?
It's tour time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
just
gonna check
headed out.
our-
This is our, what is it, 3rd day?
Third or
Fourth,
fourth, something
something
like
like
that,
that,
yeah.
Oh, so
Feels
it's early.
crazy,
4th
yeah.
day on this run of shows, and from here on out, we're out until, on this run, like
Mid-April.
middle April, and then we kind of keep going after that.
Well, I wanted to ask you, I read about your nonprofit organization. DMX is always looking to help out, and we've actually teamed up with local nonprofits. And I kind of just wanted to get a little description of what you're trying to accomplish and how this kind of came about.
Well, Everything Burns is the name of the nonprofit. It's also the name of the album. And the idea behind Everything Burns is, the slogan is live for things that matter. And the idea behind the organization is to help provide very practical and hands-on, tangible ways for more young people to get involved in social issues. So we have all these projects that Everything Burns works in, and the focus is kind of providing very real opportunities for somebody in high school or college or in their 20s or whatever to have a significant impact in the social issue. The idea for the organization kind of came from a lot of conversations we had, a lot of people that we were meeting, especially these young people, that because of access to information, this entire generation of people knows what's going on in every corner of the globe. You know, you know what's going on the second it happens, whether it's in Egypt or whether it's the earthquakes in Japan. Anything that happens, you know the second it's going on. But the problem that we found is there's this whole generation of educated people about social issues, but they lack any of the tools to really make a difference. So you've got all
I
these
don't know
young...
how to start, at least, I guess.
Yeah, it's so hard sometimes to make that first step. So with Everything Burns, we wanted to kind of bridge that gap, and we wanted to help provide that first step. So we've been launching Everything Burns chapters on high school campuses, on college campuses, where we're working with those students and saying, like, what are you guys passionate about? And then we come up with practical ways that those students can help make a difference in a social issue, whether it's in their community dealing with homelessness or poverty issues, or whether it's around the world dealing with a malaria issue, or we're looking into ways now about how to jump into the whole ongoing situation in Japan, things of that nature. So we try and provide practical ways for young people to get involved in social issues.
That's great. Well, I know you guys are on a tight schedule, so I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to chat. Looking forward to the performance. And really quickly, are you guys performing at South by? You doing any gigs?
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
playing the Share Square and Earbits day party on Friday from 1 to 4. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
At
1 to 4.
Esther's Follies. So yeah, you guys should come by.
Definitely, definitely. Is there anything you want to say to DMX followers?
Well, we want to say thanks to DMX so much because you probably don't know this, but DMX was sort of an early adopter of what we were doing. A while ago, right when we came out with Everything Burns, DMX took one of our songs, a song called Calm Inside the Storm, and it got placed in Hollister stores all around the world on their playlist. And it was an early thing, but that opened up so many doors for us as a band. So we really appreciate what DMX does. We really appreciate the support that you guys have given us and given our music. You guys have opened up many doors for us. So we really appreciate everything that you guys do.
Thank you for your work.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks.